How's it going, everybody? So, I decided over the last couple of weeks that I wanted to build a gaming PC. I didn't want to do it just buy it all at once, which was actually a good thing that I didn't, because I was able to save a lot of money on Prime Day and through Newegg's sale that they just had. I don't remember what they called it. Yeah, I don't remember what they were calling theirs, but so I actually got a good deal on most of the stuff here. I'll put what I paid and a link to all the stuff in this build in the description. Um, though a lot of it, again, was on sale for those two Prime days and whatever the Newegg sale was. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to keep coming down in price. Like, I think some of the stuff like the case here won't, because I got it for $50 or $60, and it had all those RGB fans. But this is a Rosewood case, so there were some things that I did not, spend a ton on. So the case was one, but it really, wasn't even about the price, to be honest. I really like the bottom mounted fans, with the power supply up top, and as a result, you can also put, and I'll take this. Let me take the cover off here. Okay, that's better. So, I don't know if you can see right here, but this is a spot for the radiator. So now I have a liquid cooling all-in-one, and I'm going to mount it against the side right there because there's no bays for a optical drive, which that was another choice. But it seems to be there's a lot of cases that do not have that option anymore. Although I'm not really sure why they couldn't have found a way to incorporate it up top. But as you can see, there's no opening for it there. But anyway, so I did like this case for that reason. It's tempered glass, like I said, RGB, power supply shroud up top, and I like the bottom fans pulling. There's a I don't know how to get it out. There's a filter underneath those fans as well. So that was the starting point, and I did actually make a little bit of choices based on the case to have that side-mounted radiator setup. But as you can see, you can hide power cables behind as well. So like I said, that was about $50 or $60. Next was this thing here. This is the upside down. This is the Deep Cool Gamer Storm 240 Captain 240 Pro. So this was just a pretty quick spur of the moment buy. It was on sale for, again, $50 or $60. I want to say $50, but it was probably $60 during Amazon Prime Day. And it's full RGB. I actually just like this little tube. I know it's a stupid reason to buy something, but it got good reviews, so I said, okay, that's fine. It kind of reminds me of a nuclear reactor. So I got that for the all-in-one cooling. Then power supply. This was $90. This is a Thermaltake Tough Power GF1 850 watt gold, certified gold. And again, this was listed on those power supply ranking websites or whatever forum posts as tier A. A little confusing because it said Thermaltake, Tough Power, and then GF1, but they said maybe RGB after it or not RGB. I don't really know. But either way, it got good reviews, and I think it is tier A. And this was $90 on sale on Prime Day. I think it's normally $130. And the 1,000 watt is still $130. It just, 850 should be enough for my setup. I always like to go a little higher, but we're gonna try it with the 850. I had a 1,000 watt on my old computer, and it got no use. I had two 5770s in Crossfire, and then a Bulldozer 8125, I think. So that was big, power hungry, and I still never touched that. So I think that one only did about 525 watts at peak. So hopefully this is similar. Then for RAM, I purchased the T-Force Vulcan Z. This is 32 gigs, 16 and 16. Cache latency 16, 20, 20, 40. I'm not sure. This had good ratings. Again, this was super on sale. I think I paid, it was $80 on Prime, and then I had another 5% off, or $81 on Prime, then another 5% off for my credit card. So it was like $76 plus tax. And it's supposed to be good RAM, so nothing special, no RGB on the RAM. I do like RGB. That was a reason why I bought the cooler and why I bought the case, but I'm not willing to make other changes based on RGB. So I'll still save some costs there. Then for the motherboard, this ended up being more expensive than I wanted to spend because I was gonna buy a B450, which you could get for under $100 during Prime Day with Wi-Fi. I mean. But then I looked and it's apparently there is a benefit to getting the B550 or 450. PCI lanes, I guess, is the number one. There might be some other things like Gen 4 SSD, which probably doesn't matter that much. But so I did end up, I said, this is going to be a long time build, so let's go with the B550 now. This was $130. I paid $130. It was $140. I had a $10 credit or a $12 credit for buying gift cards on Prime Day, so I used that towards it. So this was $142. And then I also used which I haven't gotten yet, but I also did bought it through Affirm because there was supposed to be a $25 promo if you did that on Prime Day. So hopefully I do get that, and then in which case this will be down to $105. But this is an expensive board. Well, it's expensive to me, honestly. I saw another video and they said you'd be hard-pressed to find a board for under $200 that's worth anything. I don't see those, so I mean this was like this stickered for like $190, I think, before Prime Day. So you can see this is what it has on it. So it has 2 NVMe slots. This is a full-size board. I was considering getting a mini or a micro, but I don't know those ones came with 2 SSD slots. So, and I have a 1 terabyte that I put for the Series X, I'm sorry, not the Series X, I still have that one connected. I have a 1 terabyte that I use in my Xbox One X, but since I don't really use that anymore, I'm going to add that in as extra storage here because I know games take up a lot of space. And this has built-in Wi-Fi. It is only AC, but it's going to be a while before I upgrade to Wi-Fi 6 anyways, so it should be fine. And if I needed to, there is expansion slots for a Wi-Fi card. Okay. And then, let's move to the graphics card. I had my sights on a AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. Probably should have bought it. I think that I could have gotten a couple for under $700 if I had waited. But this one went on sale from Newegg with a mail-in rebate. So all in, this including the mail-in rebate, this cost $730 plus tax. And I was willing to take that plunge. I don't think it's really worth it over the 6800, to be honest, but for a $30 premium, or whatever it was, $40 premium, I was willing to take that jump, just so I could say I had the 6900 XT. I mean, obviously there's a 6950, which you could jump up to, but there were no discounts on that, so you're talking $1,100, $1,200 for that one. And this, supposedly stickers for $1,000 or $1,049 according to Newegg. And that sounds about right. So I'm happy to get this for a little bit of a discount. It was a $50 mail-in rebate, and then the rest came through a promo code and just a typical discount. But so this is the 16 gig, 16 gig model, and I remember now. I forgot what I was saying with the cases. I made some other choices. I got lucky that this was on sale because this is the smallest that I've seen 6900 XT. So most of them, including the 6800s, were 330 millimeters long. This is 286 millimeters long. And that makes a difference because, as I was saying, I want to have the radiator for the all-in-one mounted sideways like that. As a result, there's not that much space here. So hopefully my measurements are correct, and this 286 millimeter card will fit right about here, and I'll have plenty of space, because actually the power cables come out this way, so that shouldn't even be an issue. I just want to make sure I clear that radiator. So that was part of the reason. That was like the whole reason that I went with this card over those 6800 XTs that I was saying I could get for under 700, because the whatever version this is, the Aorus. I don't remember what this is called. It had a name. Oh, Wind Force. That's right. They called it the Wind Force. The Aorus with the Wind Force 6800 XT wasn't on sale at the time, so I just spent the extra bucks to get the 6900 because it fit the bill. And as you might have seen already, because I think I showed it on the camera, is the processor I selected was the Ryzen 7 5800X. This is actually the second Ryzen 7 5800X that I purchased. I bought one from Amazon, and it's supposed to be in like new, used like new condition. It was $15 cheaper than the new one, so this was $275, and that one was $260. I got it. It had thermal paste smeared all over it still, fingerprints from, in the thermal paste. Like, when I purchase something that says used like new, and this has historically been the case, and that's what I expected it to be damaged box, because that's what it said. It said box will be damaged in the original box. The box was damaged, 100%, but the processor was also clearly used. I don't know if the previous person who had returned it to Amazon used it, bought one of these, and then just stuck the new one in the old box and sent it back, or vice versa. Yeah, the old one in the new box and sent it back, so that they would, get away with getting a working or a new processor. I mean, honestly, I didn't even check it. I don't. It does say it on here, so I'm sure they can't do that. But so they could have had a broken one. Either way, regardless, return that because I wasn't going to take a chance on that because it should have been totally unused and it was clearly very, very clearly used. But let me show you something here. On Prime Day, there was another sale. And the sale was something that I probably shouldn't have taken advantage of because it's totally unnecessary. But I decided to purchase the Ryzen 9 5900X instead. This went on sale for $332. Plus I had 6% off with my credit card for Prime Day. So it works out to be like, what, $312, something like that? Versus the $275 minus the 5% for the regular Amazon credit card. So, I mean, without that, factoring in that extra percent, say it's about $50 more expensive for the Ryzen 9 5900X. And unlike the 6900 XT to the 6800 XT, the pass mark for this is much greater than the pass mark for that. So, a single core probably makes no difference. For gaming, probably makes no difference. But for the production side of things, this had a 28,000 pass mark for multi-threaded operations. This had a nearly 40,000, so 39,600 or something like that. So we're talking a big jump in productivity. And because I don't like to upgrade or swap out things that work very often, again, I still have my old gaming computer that does work. I don't use it because I use the Xbox Series X, but I plan to have this computer for 8 years. Let's say that's about the level of usefulness I got out of my other one. I probably stopped using it about 2 years ago because it gets pretty old now. Processor wise, it's good. Graphics card wise, those twin 5770s they can't do anything. Especially even now, they don't even have drivers to support them for like Windows 11 or maybe even 10. I'm not sure. I upgraded to Windows 10 at one point, and then I downgraded back to Windows 7 because it just ran better. But I do foresee myself using this for at least 8 years, barring some crazy advances in technology where it just becomes super obsolete. But I'm giving myself a head start at least. So I will be returning this 5800 XT, still sealed, so no one will have any doubts about it being unused. And I will be putting in the Ryzen 9 5900X. What you may notice is that I don't have an SSD right here. And that is because Amazon doesn't ship right anymore. It was supposed to be here today. It'll be here on Monday. So I was expecting to build this fully today. I'll have to wait. But at least I can get this showing you guys out of the way. The other thing Amazon did is I chose to have this delivered yesterday. Yesterday, I'm sorry. So the Ryzen 9, the SSD was supposed to have been here yesterday, and it wasn't. So today's Sunday. I'm not going to get here today. But anyways, I picked them to deliver this on Saturday. And then, as soon as I put the order through, it says, your thing will be delivered tomorrow. I was away for a funeral. So this sat outside on my doorstep. Thankfully, I live in a safe community, but it sat outside for 4 days. So that's awesome. I appreciate them. I appreciate them doing that. Sarcastic. And they couldn't even be bothered to follow the delivery instructions, which once I realized that, and I told them, I spent time on chat saying, can you delay this? Can you hold it at an Amazon locker? Can you do blah, blah, blah? They said, no, we can't, which is ridiculous. I would have canceled the order. And reordered it to a locker myself, but because it had that promo in there I told you, they said, if you cancel it, you'll lose that promo, you can't get it back, which is kind of garbage to me. I'm really disappointed with Amazon's customer service lately. It seems like I've been a Prime member for, I don't know, since 2005, so it's been a long time. I spend over $10,000 a year on Amazon, and then they just don't play ball sometimes, so it all worked out. Nobody stole this. Luckily, we didn't get a lot of rain, because that's another thing. This is the box it came in. It did not have a plastic, like you can see this one came with plastic wrapping around it. So did the AIO. Graphics card did not, processors do not. So for some reason they shrink wrap these, but not the really important stuff. But so it didn't get water damage, which was good, because we didn't get any rain. But again, it was sitting there for 4 days. Luckily nobody stole it. It did come in an Amazon box. So it did come in a traditional cardboard Amazon box, but it would have been really nice if they had actually done something to help me out there. And can I actually speak to UPS as well? I haven't checked FedEx. I haven't checked FedEx lately, but I know you used to be able to say hold it at a FedEx location, and if you can still do that for free, that's a great perk. UPS charges you for that, so I actually signed up for a yearly. This was short notice with a funeral. I was out of town. So, I mean, it's nobody's fault, but I had to buy a year membership to UPS Premium for $20 so that I could direct them to have my packages, save them money by not delivering to my house so I could go pick them up at the store. Why that's an extra service, and it's $10, by the way. If you don't have UPS Premium, it's $10 per package. Whether or not you are there. Like, if you put a hold on, even if it's something, somebody could send you 10 packages and you pay $100 to have them shipped, even if you don't know. So, frustrating stuff. But if FedEx still does that, then that's a really good perk to have, because neither Amazon nor UPS will play ball in that area. But I didn't really have much choice because it was Prime Day during the week, and I was certainly not going to be back in time to order from it and have them be there the next day. But yeah, so like I said, the SSD isn't here like it's supposed to be. I got for $100, I got a Western Digital SN850. It is a Gen 4. It has a max write of, I'm not really sure, I wanted to say 5,000 and a max read of near 7,000. Those numbers could be off. When we're installing it, I'll correct those in the video. But I got it for $100, so I'm not complaining at all. I wasn't even going to buy a SSD. I was just going to use that Gen 3 silicon power that I got for the 1X, which makes a huge difference, by the way. If you have a 1X, not a Series X, if you have a 1X, and you can keep it for a while, buy yourself a USB enclosure and get an SSD. Actually, you probably could even go with the old SATA kind, but if you want your experience to be better, definitely do that, because it's world changing. Load times, not even half. They're like one fifth of the time of the stock hard drive. So, biggest upgrade you can make to your 1X is to install all your games onto an external SSD. But regardless, gonna use that SSD. Then I decided, I've had that for like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. It'll be a big hassle to change stuff over. If it dies, I don't know why it would die, but just in case. So I said, all right, I'll do it. I'll get the new one, and then I'll have that one as a backup, because I don't want to have to reinstall Windows if it crashes or some sort. So yeah, that is what goes into this build. Like I said, all the prices and description and links will be in the YouTube description. I think spend-wise, before taxes, this is $1,600, I think. I was aiming for 1600 total, and when I was going to use that at the old SSD, I was there, but when deciding to use a new one, that put me back up to 1600. So it's like 7% tax here in Florida, so we're looking at about $1,700, maybe a little more. But this is now, and if I were to do this build 6 months ago, the graphics card alone would have been that much. So not really complaining. I'm not saying this is the best time to build a computer. It might not be. Everybody's saying that crypto is dying, so that they're going to be there's going to be a flash sale on these graphics cards. It's already pretty cheap. It's down 30% from MSRP, and it's down 50% from where it was or more, just at the beginning of the year. So I have to imagine at some point the companies are just going to sit on these cards or destroy them or repurpose them into lower spec product, maybe declock them or something, because they do not want to cannibalize their market. They're supposed to be coming out with new graphics cards at the end of the year or early next year, having cards that are not much worse, selling for a third of the price of their new cards is not good for business. So I don't know how much lower they are going to go in the near term, at least. You might see them eventually, but it's just not good business. So I wouldn't say wait forever, because they'll just stop stocking them. I'd say once you get to a price that you're happy with paying or capable of paying, I'd say jump on it. Processors are not the same way, because the processors, this was on sale when I got it. It was $445 before the sale. I doubt it returns to that price. I would imagine that they will keep falling. So, and they always get better, so you might be able to, but the difference is the processors were never super overinflated. So like, they were MSRP and then they're coming down in traditional cycle as time goes on, whereas the graphics cards were super overinflated, 100% overinflated due to crypto, and now they're back down to around MSRP, and now we're going to see normal sales. Or on Friday, crypto surged again, so we might start seeing a glut again, and people just buying and buying. So a glut of people buying, I should say, and then a lack of supply causing the prices to go up. But all right, well, let's get into building this.